Welcome back to more chopping etudes. Today we're going to look at the tomato. We had talked earlier about onions and how onions are pretty ubiquitous in American cooking. Well, so are tomatoes, almost as much as onions. And so how to slice, dice, and chop tomatoes is an important thing to do. So we're going to show you how to do that. Before we just get into the chopping and the slicing and the seeding and all that, we're going to have a little talk about tomatoes. Tomatoes, you buy these kind of tomatoes. I just bought these at the grocery store. Not the best in the world. They're actually a little bit hard. I like my tomatoes just a little bit soft. Not too squishy though, that's overdone. And people, when you buy tomatoes like at the farmer's market, they actually don't like you to squeeze the tomatoes, but you can just tell by holding it in your hand if it's soft or not. And how soft it is, so you don't need to worry about that. There's a little soft spot right there where my thumb is. You can kind of see it. But these are fine. I just bought these at the store. It's winter time, so these aren't going to be the best tomatoes in the world. Sometimes in winter I will use a plum tomato, or actually a Roma tomato is what this is called. Instead, I think you get a little better flavor in the winter. But in the summer you can get some great tomatoes. You can grow them yourselves. The tomato plant is actually just a viney weed. Or you can buy them at your local farmer's market. You can get a lot of different varieties. We get a lot of heirloom tomatoes at our farmer's market, and they're great in the summer. Made everything from tomato pie to pastas and eggplant parmigiana and all kinds of stuff with the tomatoes. The other thing about tomatoes is to not store them. Do not store them in your refrigerator. Just keep them out on your counter. If they're underripe and you need to ripen them faster, you can put them in a brown paper bag, but otherwise just leave them on your counter. They'll be fine. So if you have any questions about tomatoes, leave them in the comment section. Be sure to like me on Facebook. That's a button in the upper left hand corner of the blog. And let's get started.